Hey guys, Ryan here. In today's video, I'm going to talk about the new best SMG in Warzone, the Mark 05. If you're looking for attachments, go to about 3 minutes in this video, and that's where I'm going to break down the 3 different builds. Anyways, let's just get right into it, and let me just start by telling you why I think this thing is so good. The damage, the mobility, and the overall ease of use is second to none right now in Warzone, and the only gun that really comes close is the Blixen, and that's the main competition. When you look at the stats for time to kill, this is the top SMG in pretty much the entire game, and the recoil is really not that bad. I don't think the recoil is super easy to control. It's nothing like the Milano, for example, and it can be a little tough for some people, especially if you're on console. But I do think in particular that the damage, the overall mobility, and hipfire capability makes this so broken, it's 100% worth using for almost any player. However, I do have to say that one of the issues is I don't think everyone's going to enjoy the quote-unquote feel of this gun. Now, I talk about feel all the time, and the reason is because it's super vital and important for the gun to feel good to the people that use it, because even though this gun is technically one of, or if not the fastest killing SMG in the game, that's not really important if you can't hit your shots or it just doesn't feel good to use to you. Overall, that's my biggest worry when suggesting this gun. I'm worried that people are going to try it and they're just not going to enjoy the recoil. The visual recoil is going to be a little too intense for them. The overall feel of the gun isn't going to be too good and they're just not going to enjoy it. And I don't like when that happens. Whenever I suggest a gun, I really want it to actually be that good. I don't want to tell people to just use whatever gun because I went out and had a good game on it. I sincerely don't think that this gun fits into that category of just only good in a good player's hands, and I think this gun is just absolutely amazing, and the stats back that up, but I'm not sure it's just the outright best gun for every person. You have to consider things like your ability to control recoil, your play style, what other guns you're using, because if you're using a sniper, I'm not sure that this is the best sniper support. If you are someone who really likes to snipe, there are probably better options to run as a sniper support, and I can 100% attest to that based on just overall feel, based on sniping myself and the stats. So that's the main thing you have to consider. Is this gun right for you? And that's the hard part. I'm going to recommend this for most people just to try because, as I said, the stats support how good it is. The overall feel is insane, and you can see this gameplay how good it is. I've been using this the past 2 days pretty much non-stop, and I am in love with this gun. It really matches my playstyle as an aggressive player, but it also just really suits me because of how high the damage is. So that means even if I don't have full plates, even if I'm in a bad situation, if I can make them miss 1 or 2 shots with my movement and its overall damage, I can win almost any gunfight. So now let's get into the attachments I've been using with this gun. So starting with the muzzle, you can go either Mercury Silencer or Recoil Booster. I think most people are going to enjoy the Mercury Silencer because A, it keeps you off the map, but it's also going to be easy to control recoil wise. But if you're super sweaty and you want the absolute best damage, go Recoil Booster. Then as for the barrel, the only real barrel you really should go is this 240 barrel because that's going to boost your damage the most. Now for the underbarrel, I'm going to give you 3 different options. The Mark Skeletal is going to give you the best movement speed. The M1915 hand stop is going to give you the best recoil control, and the compact grip I think is going to be the best kind of middle ground and going to be another really good option. Now for the magazine, you can go really any option, but I would recommend the Nambu 64 rounds or these Kurtz 36 round mags. If you're mainly a solo duos player, do consider running the Kurtz 36 round mags, but I will say that the Nambu 64 rounds are overall probably the best. Then for ammunition, it's going to depend if you have the silencer. If you don't have the silencer, do run subsonic if you just don't want to get third-partied. If you aren't running the silencer though, if you are running the silencer, I would run lengthened or hollow point based on whatever you think might be best. Beyond that, moving to the rear grip, this is where it's going to get really interesting. Now, right now, as of this moment, taped grip is broken and the 100% obvious choice, but when it gets nerfed, I would recommend fabric grip for ADS and sprint to fire time if you want to be more aggressive. I'd recommend polymer or hatch grip if you want more recoil control, but there's also a good chance that taped grip, even when it's nerfed, still might be the go-to option. But moving on from there, the perks are pretty simple. I like to go momentum, but if you do run a Hipfire build, which I'll talk about and put in the description, you can go Gung Ho. I'd also recommend quick or fully loaded. And then for the stock, I've been really enjoying the Emerito because it has the best, I know I probably said that wrong by the way, but it has the best like overall movement speed and mobility, and that's what I prefer with my build. And then of course I run Slate Reflector. So just to recap, the main two builds are going to be really dependent on if you want to run Recoil Booster or the silencer and how much mobility you want. And then the other third build that I'll have down in the description is going to be a Hipfire based build. As I said before, the only real competition to this gun is going to be the Blixen, and I really think that's going to come down to personal preference and based on how they feel once tape grip gets nerfed. This gameplay in the background is a top 20 in the world kill record game for solos. I ended up with 32 kills. I ran out of storage space in the middle of the game, so I don't even have all of it recorded, but I'm just going to show up until what I have. But I will say that this thing is a menace. Right now with the tape grip, the movement speed is absolutely insane, and that really needs to be changed. But even without it, I 100% believe that this thing will still be meta. The damage is broken, the overall recoil is really not that bad, and it has a super high rate of fire, which means that when you have high damage with high rate of fire, that means you can miss 1 or 2 shots and you're not going to be punished in your gunfights. The Blixen has super high damage, but if you miss 1 or 2 shots, your gunfight's over. On the other hand, the Blixen tends to reward headshots a little bit more than the Marco, and that's one of the real differences between the two guns. The Blixen is more rewarding in the hands of a really skilled player who's able to hit those headshots, and someone who's a little bit more casual I think is going to have an easier time with the damage of the Marco. But on the other hand, I think the recoil for a casual player is going to be a little bit more favorable for the Blixen. I think there's really going to be an interesting balance discussion coming up here soon with the best SMGs, and I also haven't even really talked about the Armored Gorilla. Now that's the Armored Guerrera, I just always call it the Armored Gorilla, and the main thing about the Armored Guerrera is it's just that it has insane close range damage that is only really outclassed by the Marco. Now if you do end up hitting 1 or 2 headshots, the Blixen will have a faster time to kill, but that's no guarantee. That's one of the main things that I really like about this gun, is you don't have to hit headshots to have an insane time to kill. You aren't too punished if you're hitting limb shots. It's just overall a super good and balanced gun that just right now also has the unfortunate reality of being a little broken due to the whole movement speed bug with the taped grip. I also just genuinely feel like people are sleeping on guns like the MP40 and the Sten right now. Now, when you compare their time to kills, of course they're going to be beat a little bit, but only a little bit. The MP40 has a 613 millisecond time to kill, and the Blixen has a 600 millisecond time to kill when you're hitting all shots to the chest. Of course, this isn't realistic, and when you look at their probability time to kill, the Blixen will be a little quicker than the MP40, but overall the point I'm trying to get across is that's very little time. 13 milliseconds is really not that much, and that is never going to be a reason you should decide to use one gun over another. It's a similar thing to the Modern Warfare MP5. It has a time to kill of 640 milliseconds to the chest while having great mobility, good hip fire, and it's just really easy to use. So why is it that not more people are using it? I'm not sure. People love the gun. I know they have it leveled up. It's something a lot of people can get used to, but for whatever reason, people are scared to use it because they just don't think it's that powerful, when in reality, it kind of is. Of course, there are downsides to it, and I know it's not A tier, S tier meta, but it is really good, and I do think more people should be aware of these options. But anyways, guys, I'm going to start to wrap this video up. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys enjoyed me rambling about this new SMG like I do in all my videos. And I hope you guys just overall, I hope to see you around the channel in the future. If you guys enjoyed this video, do consider maybe leaving a like, do consider subscribing. But I'm sure many of you already have, and many of you already are subscribed. And I just want to say thank you for the support. It's been Ryan. I hope you have a good day. Peace.